How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to show the build that I ended up using for the in order to get top 10 in the event for Iris here for the Traveler T8. I would have done this a lot sooner. I just happened to be going outside a bunch. I was playing a lot of disc golf, so I missed on a good, I don't know, 20 hours of playing because I was off actually just outside. But for the build and the gear that I ended up using, I did end up basically getting my Friend Nemesis Chest. I ended up getting an Exquisite Box. I just bought the cheapest one at the time, which was like 240 FE. So still pretty close to that, 200 FE, something like that. And then for Winter of Origin, I just bought the cheapest, like 19% additional that I could get. The rest of the stuff doesn't even matter. We can always hit any of the blessing stacks that we need. For my boots, I just have some +1 boots. For both my rings, I have 260% growth rings here with just ES and resist on them. Helmet, same thing, just a double damage helmet with some ES and res. And then for my staff, it's very not good. I probably won't be crafting this staff any further. I'm just going to replace it with the new base and start from there. But I was able to do it with just this tier 1 cooldown reduction. On here, I did end up going to a 3-second memory here, but I was hitting the same breakpoints with a 4-second memory. So it's not necessary, but you do need a 3-second memory in order to go to Steel Vanguard. So I did end up having to do that. And because I'm slightly short of the cooldown breakpoints, I did have to run a little bit of cooldown memories here in order to hit the values. So because of this league with movement speed being 40% of it is equal to more damage for your main skill, you do leave Frost Spirit on as a main skill, and then you do end up running movement speed on memories and wherever you can. Same thing for here. This is not the best thing here. I do want one of these with tier 1 empower and some cooldown recovery speed for Spirit Magus at this point, just because I still need the recovery. In regards to the actual DPS and gear that I had, the DPS itself is nothing that exciting. I think it's maybe somewhere around 2 bill, something like that. And with this setup here, this is with me running a very defensive setup though for Traveler, just because I was trying to do him deathless pretty much. So I was running Curtain instead of Reflection. Like if we swap Reflection on, you'll see the damage on this will actually go up quite a bit. Let's go ahead and do this here. I got lucky with the first hit. But the damage on this will typically go over 2 billion this way. You should see it actually go up to like 2.5, something like that. It's still nothing crazy. It's still nothing that exciting. But it, yeah. Either way, pretty much what you're seeing with this is the damage itself is all pretty much going to be dictated by, with this I'm running kinetic conversion for defense, which is really needed on when you start to try to do this T8 stuff, otherwise you start dying fairly often. Then I just have a few corners here. These are all just like +1 slates here. This mod is actually really nice. This immediately started energy shield charge when entering low ES, or it carried me a lot before I got a kinetic conversion slate. Until then, the rest of these are just some sealed mana. And right here, this is like own 1 focus blessing, but I'll probably replace this as well because I don't actually need this focus blessing stack anymore. So my slates are completely bad. None of my gear has really been optimized yet. But for the tree that I used here, I was just using isomorphic arms. Standard setup here with God of Machines. For Alchemist, pretty standard setup. Pushing down here just for faster ES charge here. And then we have Steel Vanguard here. And if it's not hard content, then I'm just running Reflection for some more damage. And if it is, then I'm running Curtain here. Because Curtain with kinetic conversion basically means like every you know, every time you actually get hit or every time you actually get hit enough to lose your barrier, then you're just getting a massive heal. So you're constantly getting topped off. So you're getting this damage here that moves through. And then for your slates, you do want more +1 slates, but I don't have them, so that's fine. Pretty much from where we're taking the build from here, for our gloves, we would want gloves here with this like +1. I didn't have enough sealed mana on any of my gear right now, so I ended up having to run, I couldn't run a higher level of magical source right now, so I did end up swapping to those other gloves that give you 4% mana every time you use a skill, and those were able to maintain my mana for me. This is a very like greedy damage setup here with cast with damage taken and biting cold. If I wanted to just remove this and just have slightly lower damage, I could remove magical source and then just wear my +1 gloves still. If you are running the kinetic conversion setup, you can run protection field instead. Precise auto defense, you don't need this. I just happen to drop it, so I'm using it. It doesn't, I think it gives you like 1% or something better defense or something. It's not very much. For your auras here, you run these. If you can fit in Frigid Domain instead of Erosion Enhancement, you go ahead and do that. I enjoy running Swiftness still. I could probably, realistically, I should probably just run this on Frigid Domain instead of Swiftness, but no, it doesn't quite fit, so that's fine. Leave it as it is. Swiftness is too good to give up, especially this league here, since this is like a whatever this is at 16.5. It's like 10% more or I guess 7% more damage, something like that. For the support gems here, we're just using these: Elemental Fusion, Freeze Chance, Harvest Chance, or Harvest Time and Savage Growth with Elemental Duo. For bossing, I put on Dazzling Bloom here, but otherwise this is actually just a blink. For mapping, I'll almost always run this as blink most of the time. Dazzling Bloom just comes on if you want that big extra damage spike. And then you're in here, Nourish, Cooldown Reduction, Mania, Extended Duration. And then we have Blurry Steps, Extended Duration, Self-Sacrifice, and Mania. This is important because you want the big status effect bonus for this, because the movement speed on this, again, if it's already at 57%, you want this doubled up and tripled up, and you want it as high as you can get, because again, all that movement speed is turning into extra damage. And then same with Elemental Shock, Mania, Extended Duration, and Cooldown Reduction here. Yeah, so and then for the candles, I have 2 cooldown recovery candles, just because I needed the cooldown recovery in order to hit the breakpoints for the memory without using a T1 CDR Staff. If I had a T1 CDR Staff, I could change things a lot. But as you can see, my gear is very unoptimized. I haven't really touched it a bit. This is me turbo rushing to try to get top 10 after taking way too much time off and having Iris not even be my first character. So yeah, if you have any questions about it, leave them in the comments down below. I'll update this again with where I take it. I'll finish gearing this character out properly, and then I'll showcase it again from there. But other than that, see you in the next one.